be a player.
Uh,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No more. No more. Ah. Hey guys. Welcome back to the Cosmic Callouts. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday morning, afternoon, evening. And I hope you guys had a wonderful week. We have a lovely topic today with with my lovely co-host Chloe Money and me, Victoria. And our
ding.
topic, right, a little ding. And our topic today is suppressing your truth. Ooh, we going deep. So,
Don't we go deep?
yeah, at this point, it's just
Can I say?
it's
I
on
can't.
brand.
So many dirty jokes I could have put there, man. I'm sorry.
Stop.
My brain's in the gutter.
Get it out.
I'm sorry. How can I say like we go deep a lot and then me not say something like I like it deep? Like how?
Pause.
How do I not? Anyway,
Anyway, so we're gonna dive into
suppressing your truth.
yes.
Here's the thing, and look what I just did. I went and was gonna suppress my truth, guys. I like it deep. I'll say it. I'm
Ooh.
sure there are other. I'm sure there are other people out
All right. So
there. This
have
is gonna
you
be such a good clip though for TikTok though. Like
This is
just that
so
phrase is
chaotic
crazy.
already. All right, so have you ever felt like you're holding back who you really are? That's a good question.
Do you want to answer this first, and then I can go in?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay, so I didn't know if this was asking the audience or me in particular.
Well, both.
So
If
I mean,
comment down below if you have, guys, please.
so here's the thing. I feel like you have to know your own truth to know if you're suppressing your own truth.
Right.
T. Okay.
T.
I don't think that people even know what their truth is. They might have been told what a truth is, like
Mm-hmm.
what you're conditioned to believe or think, society, family, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like once I kind of let go of some of the beliefs from other people and I started to align myself with my understanding of what my own personal truth is in any instance, I think naturally sometimes I feel like the reason why someone would suppress their truth is because of fear of
Yeah.
speaking the truth and feeling alienated or rejected or isolated or like argued against and discredited, like invalidated. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's the reason why people suppress it. I think I went from never saying how I truly felt to being absolutely unhinged. So I
Yeah.
think that I went to very different extremes of it, where I think I was always unfiltered. I can't say I suppressed it a lot, but I think it depended on the relationship I was in. I think a lot of young girls like don't want to say certain things because like they want the boy to like them or they don't want to get in trouble or like I feel like a lot of people can connect to like the younger years of being like I don't think I should say this because I might be in trouble. But I feel like as a grown adult, you kind of, at least for me, I had no shame and I just spoke my mind,
I think
you
for
know.
me, I've never had a filter.
Yeah, I mean, this
I-
topic, if for two people who are just so blatantly blunt, is
yeah. Yeah.
not the best because I think you and I both are just like, fuck it. This is
Yeah.
what I gotta say, bitch.
I think me being so blunt has gotten me in trouble a few times, but at the same time, like I don't care. So, like not to
Yeah,
say that I don't always care. Like I have had moments where like I do care what people think about me and I do kind of hold back a little bit. So I
yeah,
do
we're
suppress my
human.
truth a little bit, but for the most part, I don't care. Like
Yeah, I think in terms of how I'm communicating with other people, I'm pretty vocal and I don't
yeah.
suppress. I'm very expressive. Can't say I'm not expressive.
Yeah, I think everyone in my family at this point has given up on trying to put a filter on me. So,
Yeah, good. They should have, because like, why are you trying to control somebody else? Good luck with that. You're just making
Right.
yourself miserable. But
Right.
if we're gonna take it into a different context, I also feel like suppressing your truth can mean like if I don't take an action on something that I feel inspired or desired to do because I'm buying into this false belief or thought that I can't or I won't
Mhm.
succeed or whatever it is, like by taking action from a place of misalignment, that in a way is suppressing your truth because you're
Yeah.
going against what your soul wants. So you could take it in that way too.
Yeah, I feel like there's different reasons, like how you were saying why we might suppress our truth. A lot of it, like you said, was like rejection, like fear of rejection, judgment. I
On
think I
yourself
think
or from others.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think also it's like cultural conditioning or societal
Mhm.
conditioning as well. Your family. Some
Yeah, you don't
people
want to
don't
be
want to be,
cast out
yeah, like you don't want to be the black sheep, whatever. Like traumas, past traumas, stuff like that. I feel like that's like another thing. I don't
Yeah, it's
know, but
fear of being alone. It's like if you
yeah, you don't want to be
expressed
the black
yourself
sheep.
fully,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that if your sense of self-worth is tied into conforming to other people and like
Mhm.
being liked, then yeah, the idea of you like saying something that could be controversial, if it's not received well and you're relying on it to be received well in order to feel good, your whole life can crash and burn around you. But you're
Yeah.
betraying yourself in so many ways by not even speaking on it. That it's
Yeah.
like either way, you're not going to feel very good, sis. But at least if you speak your mind and say what you got to say, like you can stand by yourself and be proud that you
Mhm.
owned your truth and had the
Yeah,
confidence to do so.
it's definitely a process though, I will have to say, like for
Mm.
someone, I mean me, not me though.
Yeah,
Not me
we're
though.
speaking generally because clearly Victoria and I don't have a problem with this.
But not to say that we haven't at one point, but right now, like not me though. But some like things that can like come up if you are suppressing your truth. Um, it can lead to you having like stress, anxiety, depression, or like a sense of disconnection with yourself or the people around you.
And because you're masking, you're
Yeah,
essentially
you're,
lying to
hmm
everybody and
yeah.
yourself.
Or you have to like I've also so growing up when I did try to like suppress who I was and all that stuff, I had to be a different
Never worked.
version of myself depending on who I was with.
Yes, that's a survival technique, I feel
Yeah.
like, too,
So
very
with
much.
my, with my family and stuff, I had to be this like funny, haha kiki, like girl, like whatever,
Mm,
what like I'm not gonna say I was well behaved because I was not. I was a badass kid. But I had to be like the funny one, like I couldn't, be sad and stuff like that. And then with like
mm,
my friends and stuff, like I could let out my emotions a little bit more and
mm.
I could show them that side of me where I was like, okay, I'm not okay. So,
Yeah.
like if I'm not getting the help from my family, no offense to my beautiful
Mm,
family, but it was something that was never taught to them. So how could they help
yeah,
me? So
very
that
much
was the
so.
thing. So I I did have a different version of myself depending on who I was around, you know? So
Mm.
everyone viewed me in the family as like the funny jokester. Like I was always joking around. I was
Can't
always
take
doing,
anything
yeah,
serious.
I never
Yeah.
took anything serious, whatever. I was always just doing crazy things. But around my friends, I was like a bitch. I was
Hmm.
this like cold-hearted bitch. Like I was, yeah, I
That's
was
such
funny.
extreme
Yeah.
parallels, too.
I was funny. Like I was still the jokester with my friends, but they also knew like I was going through a lot of things in my life and there was just such a, different version of me on both.
Contrast
Yeah,
of
like it
self.
was
Yeah.
yeah, it was exhausting. And then I just morphed into one. And I didn't care. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? Like at the end of the day, if the people that love you and care about you don't accept who you are as an individual, whatever version of yourself that you show to them that day, then regardless of if they're your family, your friends, like long term or not, then they're not meant to be in your life. You don't have to conform to their ways. you know?
Yeah, no,
It's
because you don't feel good being a
no.
type of way for the sake of other people.
Yeah.
I think that I had a similar yet very different experience in my life. I I feel like with my friends, I pretty like I said how I felt, but I wasn't very emotional. Like I don't remember like in middle school or in elementary school or even in like early high school ever really like crying or being upset really. Like there was
Hmm.
like drama and like I talked to my mom about it probably, but like I wasn't a very emotional person, but in my house I was emotional and
Yeah.
sensitive and like I I think that it my environment with my friends was always very lighthearted and fun, and I laughed and I joked there. And I was overly sensitive and emotional and kind of dysregulated at home. So mine was
Mm.
kind of like flipped because I
Yeah.
almost feel like as much as I and I still feel like to this day this is something I'm healing because I'll convince myself that nothing is wrong for X amount of time. And then all of a sudden I'm going to my mom and it's like full mental breakdown. She's like, what, where did this
Ooh.
come from?
Yeah.
Like, where is this? And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
probably been festering for 2 months and I haven't felt it. And it's like a
Yeah.
full outflow of it. I feel like I've been in my journey, like learning to get better at I think before I would suppress those emotions and like not even want to feel them and just
Yeah.
subconsciously, threw dirt on them essentially. I think now I notice it and I'm like, I give myself space to like feel sad or feel angry right now. Like I honor this emotion and sometimes I still do better at like letting it out. But if you don't feel safe within yourself to express emotion,
Hmm.
you won't. You're gonna suppress it because
Yeah.
your brain thinks like your life is gonna end if you cry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
tricky. It's like I can't handle the feeling, is
Hmm.
what your brain tells you, and you're afraid it's going to consume you. And I think for so long that's what was happening to me is I was afraid to feel my feelings because I thought I wouldn't be able to recover if I felt everything at one time. But I learned that if you feel things as they come up, it won't get to that point where it's
Yeah.
so overwhelming,
Hmm.
and you can just have grace and compassion with yourself. But I think you have to really know yourself and understand what you're feeling in order to release it and not project it on other people. Like, and that your truth at any moment can change, but you get to decide that for yourself.
Yeah. a hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
I just feel like kind of creating an environment around you
Mm.
as best as you can that that if maybe the people around you that and love and stuff won't have the same compassion or empathy or have your
Mm.
back in a way or support you in a way, just know that you have yourself and that you're going to support yourself and that it's not the end of the world. You can cry, you can let it out, you can feel it,
Yeah.
and everything's going to be okay. But if you sit there and bottle everything up, eventually you're going to explode.
Yeah, it's like a pipe that all of a sudden the cap just like burst
Yeah.
off. I learned that in therapy. I'm like, I used to like have my feelings, but I didn't I almost feel like I can't control anymore when
Mhm.
all of a sudden like it turns into just, full panic and like where I'm choosing to maybe silence myself. I also think for me, I felt bad about feeling bad and I didn't want to burden people around me with my emotions. So that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
I suppressed a lot is because I saw sometimes how uncomfortable it made other people feel when I was really in my emotions
Yeah.
and I felt like a burden and I had to work through that because I had to release guilt and shame not only around feeling like that in the first place
Mhm.
but also recognizing if they really do love and care about you you're not a burden
Yeah.
like you're a human and it
Mhm.
happens but I think that kind of like you said if your family and your friends or whoever like doesn't know how to regulate their own emotions, how can you expect them to help you regulate yours?
Exactly.
And that was hard for me.
I think I learned I think I really truly learned that my family was gonna be there and help me and
The
you
best they
know,
could.
the best
Yeah.
they could when my dad passed. And
Mm.
I noticed that my sister was the one that was starting to suppress her emotions and trying her best not to like break
Yeah,
down in front
everyone
of
grieves
me.
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like
That's very much strong older sibling vibe. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
happens to a lot of people.
She very much like didn't want to cry
To look
or
weak. There's a lot of
yeah,
people too.
she knew that we were hurting and she was like, I don't wanna be,
Hurt you
hurt.
more by showing I'm hurt.
Yeah, like I don't wanna like let it out and then you guys like, it's like a chain reaction because then my mom would cry and then I would cry and then we were all just crying and I'm like, girl,
But that's also so healing though to
yeah, and
do
I
that.
told her, I was like, girl, we all going through it right now.
And
There's
T,
no one
like,
in this family that's not going through it. Like, go ahead, let it out. I don't expect you to be strong for me because I
because
would
and
not
also
have been able to.
no, and also like I joke with people and even myself like this sometimes. I'm like, funny if you think you actually can suppress it, like it's gonna go away. It's just a matter of
No.
time until it explodes anyway, so you might as well just feel the damn
Well,
thing.
she would feel it like in her own time, but in front of like us, like she would try to like suppress it.
I get that.
But I'm like, girl,
You
we
shouldn't
all
have to
going
go through it
through it.
alone
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I think that especially with death, unfortunately,
Mhm.
like so much of the healing process you can find comfort in the fact that you're not alone. Like someone else like lost this person. And I
Yeah.
say lost like that because my opinion of death is like they're never truly gone. Like
Mhm.
physically they might not be here anymore, but as someone who is tapped into the non-physical, like their energy, our spirit is infinite and never
Yeah.
really goes away. Like I feel like your dad essentially would say to your sister, like, you stupid, like, cry. Why are
Let
you
it
not like
out.
letting it
Yeah.
out? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to help them more by, being vulnerable
Mhm. Yeah. So that was like a turning point for me and my family where I was
in a
like,
relationship.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, damn, like so I can let it out. Like I didn't have to put on this like hard, front
Oh,
this
what
whole
a
time.
beautiful thing too to like finally have a conversation like that. Because I think in a lot of
Yeah.
cultures too, there is this unsaid thing, and like you can even go into the whole idea of like men not being able to express their emotions.
Yeah.
I think that I can speak to a lot of men out there whose father said like, "Don't cry because you're a fucking pussy." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like how unfortunate that is because really like everyone feels
Yeah,
and
everyone, I mean,
I
we're
think you're
human.
stronger
Yeah.
if you do cry because it
Mhm.
shows that you're courageous and vulnerable enough to feel without it affecting your ego,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
At the end of the day, you got to put your pride to the side and just feel what you're feeling and that's it. That's it. That's just the
Own
moral of the
your
story.
truth.
Yeah, no, literally, own your truth. But yeah, I feel like that's a good little segue into like learning how to start to live your truth. So, you could
And
do like,
identifying it, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. So, I mean, you
yeah.
can do like little things like speak up,
Mm.
tell, your version of the truth on things. If you don't,
Journaling is a great way to
yeah,
start if you're not ready to talk to other people. If you're trying to just investigate your own inner world, like meditating and journaling, I think really helps. And
yeah,
expressing not just negative emotion, because, like, that comes and goes. I think that there are people out there who are afraid and suppress positive emotion and good things because
hmm.
they're afraid if they feel them fully, that they're going to dissipate.
What do you mean dissipate?
Like, I think that there are people out there who are like, oh, I can't celebrate this thing because what if it goes away?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
You know what I mean? I
hmm,
think there are people who hesitate to express themselves because they're like, well, I don't want the other shoe to drop, or like, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's
hmm,
like, yeah, but you're also suppressing like the excitement and joy you feel, which it
yeah,
doesn't feel very good either.
hmm,
So,
yeah.
if you
I
suppress one, you're suppressing the other.
yeah,
Really.
I think just just having conversations either, on, like you said, journaling, so with yourself basically, or with your loved ones or just your friends and stuff, that helps, doing little, I also think like setting boundaries. It's hard, but
Very.
but like just this is something that I've recently learned. Just because they're family does not mean that you cannot put boundaries. That's all I'm
Or when
saying.
they continually betray your boundaries, say, I mentioned my
Yeah.
boundary. I told you what the consequence would be if you ignored said
Yeah.
boundary. Our dynamic is going to change.
Yeah. Yeah, sticking with your boundaries and putting your foot
Yeah.
down and that's
Because
standing
listen,
standing on business.
you got to stand on business. And at the
That's
end of the
it.
day, like, I'm not bitter or resentful if you choose to ignore the boundary I'm setting, right? If I say,
Hmm.
this is my truth, this is what I prefer, this is what I don't prefer, I'm not going to sit here and be continuously dissatisfied and unhappy if you choose to ignore the thing that I'm doing. That's fine. That's your choice. You don't have to abide by my boundary.
Yeah.
If you cared about me, I would think you would be mindful to try,
Hmm.
because I said maybe numerous times, if you continue to do this, just know I don't prefer to be around someone who does XYZ. I'm going to
Yeah.
pull back a little
Yeah.
bit. So you were aware. I communicated to you what it was, and if you continue to do that, just know that when I eventually remove myself from the situation, and you're like, "What happened?" Like da 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 da, and I'm gonna be like, "I said."
You you
I
dead ass did that to yourself. Like
yeah, couldn't have been more
more
clear.
clear.
And so
Ew.
I think
Don't
what
like I don't like when we're synchronized.
I love it. What do you mean? That's perfect. But it
But
really
yeah.
is that though. You have to
Yeah.
kind of say like
You just have to stand on business. That's it. Just be
it's
like,
not like
"Hey,
I didn't warn you. Like is it really out of that left field if I say to you like,
no, because if they don't understand what a boundary is and they have never have to put boundaries in their life, they don't see a problem with breaking your boundaries."
well, I understand that maybe you don't know what a boundary is, but if you don't know what a boundary is, but I don't say the word boundary, but I'm setting one. Let's just say like Victoria,
Yeah,
if you continue to curse at me in a conversation aggressively,
I'm
just
not
know
talking to you. Like, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna remove myself from the
Hmm.
situation and leave you in the room behind. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever. And then next time we're talking, that happens. I say, do you remember last time when I said that if you continued to speak to me this way, I was not going to speak to you? And I give you an opportunity to correct yourself. Otherwise, I said what I was going to do, and you continue. Just know I'm staying true to
Hmm.
what I said for myself, and picking my ass up and I'm getting the fuck out. Because I
Yeah.
said, so even
Yeah.
if you don't know what a boundary is, I know you understand English, bitch. I said, I'm not going to do this. Like, do you
Right.
need me to
Yeah.
explain it like you're in preschool?
Basically, because half of these people don't understand.
Cool, and that's fine. I know you're gonna understand me getting out of this room.
Yeah. No, literally. You really
So
gotta
that's
just walk
fine.
away. You really
Cause,
gotta,
cause
yeah.
listen, I'm a patient girly. If it's not clicking for you, I
Hmm.
will kindly, compassionately explain it and break it down like you're six, happily. Cause I
Yeah.
understand that not everyone understands what I'm saying. There's different types of
Yeah.
communication that exist. But what I do know is that if you're saying yes, which to me is a confirmation that you do understand what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and then you continuously do the opposite of what I said, I prefer you not to do, which is fine. That's your choice. No judgment. You keep doing you, but I'm gonna do me out the room. Bye.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
know that we had a conversation. I did the best I could. If you choose not to respect my choices, that's
Hmm.
fine. Sending you all love and light. You're not someone I want to have in the same capacity as maybe I once
Hmm.
did in my life.
Yeah.
And that's that.
And that's just how the cookie crumbles. We're not doing that. It's 2025. If y'all don't learn boundaries, that's not my problem.
Go to therapy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not my problem, guys.
get a tarot reading with me. We can work it
Right.
out.
Right. She'll read you to filth as someone who has been read to filth many times.
but the tea is like I had to do like I'm still human, right? Like I literally talked about boundaries with my therapist last week. Like
Yeah.
I'm still practicing it like everybody else, but I think the difference for me is that we learn every single day that we go through life, like what changes within us, what feels good, what doesn't. Sometimes
Hmm.
I'll think I have a boundary and then something will bother me the way it once did, and that changes, or something is bothering me now, and for my own peace, like I want to focus on other things and I have to communicate it. But I think that boundaries are a tricky thing because like you are expressing your truth in that moment, but like at what times do you need to suppress your truth to keep your peace?
Yeah.
Right? Like I might be vocal about saying something, but if it leads to an argument with someone else and I'm adamant about defending my truth, then it's not really helpful
Yeah.
anymore. And you have to remove yourself. So it's understanding yourself enough to know like what's serving me and what's not serving me and
Yeah.
having the
Sometimes you
discernment
just
to know
gotta
the
walk
difference.
away from the argument and let them sit with the thought, you know?
It's just none of my business, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you are offended by me saying that I don't want to talk to you because of whatever reason, and you're hurt by that, not really my fault. I hate to sound like a bitch.
No, I mean, yeah, we
It's
can
just
talk
not
about
my
it, but I'm
problem.
not arguing about it.
Definitely not. Like I can sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry you felt that way," which is, such a bitchy maybe thing to say, but I can recognize like, you know, thank you for letting me know that you were hurt by what it is that I said. I will do my best to be more mindful. But at the end of the day, like you're responsible for how you feel. You chose to be offended by something that I did.
Yeah, you could have just let it, you could let it go over your head the same way that you let me telling you my boundaries go over your head.
Ooh,
And that's just point blank period how it goes. If you're gonna ignore my boundaries, I'm sorry, yeah, like my bitchiness will come out now, but
yeah, you
if
get
you're
what you
gonna just
give.
right, if you're just gonna blatantly just ignore the fact that I've literally countless times have told you what I like and don't like, how I should be approached or not approached, because the same way that you want to be respected as an individual, I want to be respected as an individual as well.
It's
So if
so
you're
funny when
gonna
people act surprised, like,
yeah, it's like, oh, no, what? No, nothing. It don't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna sit there and hear me speak and completely ignore the fact of anything that I just said in that sentence, that is your problem and that is not mine.
just know I'm
Deuces,
gonna
have
ignore
a
you
great
right
time.
back.
Yes, have a
Yeah.
great time, have a great life. You're not meant to be in mine. And that's just the energy that I want for 2025. I'm doing my work. I'm doing my inner work. Now it's time for you as an individual. If you want to be in my life, if you want to be in my circle,
Sometimes you gotta just leave people where they are. Like, it's not my job to get you to
no, I
heal.
am not your mother. I am not your older sibling. I am not your mentor, your sensei, nothing. I am a regular human being going through
And
it
Eve
too.
Sensei is crazy.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like,
Just
I am going through it the same way that you are. The difference is that I wake up in the mornings and I choose to do something that's going to change my life, change my mentality, change my frequency, my vibration, everything. I'm doing the
yeah,
inner work. If you
yeah.
don't want to, then that is not on me. That is on you.
Cool. Sit in your own suffering. Like that's just
That's
I don't need to be
great.
part of it. Like I've
No.
learned that the best thing that you can do sometimes is love people from afar. But you have to like love yourself first
Yeah.
ultimately because like and I could speak from experience the amount of time I suppressed my own truth to help people get in touch with their own truth. Spirits like you dumb bitch.
Yeah. I
Like
think
looking down on me like, girl, like I know Spirit, don't be
2025.
judging me, but I know Spirit was like, Chloe,
No.
baby
2025,
girl.
guys, we are no longer people pleasers. We are us pleasers. Please, hello, like ourselves, I mean. Stop.
Focus on
Yeah.
feeling pleasure.
Yeah, it is
And if
your
that means
life.
getting rid of people and not
Then
speaking
they
to them
weren't meant to be in
anymore,
your life anyway.
claim your truth.
Yes.
You have the power to decide for yourself
Yes.
who is in your life that helps, that adds to your life, that doesn't
Yes.
subtract from your life. And if you don't know, if you're sitting there at home and you're like, but Chloe, Victoria, like, I know I'm probably suppressing something, but like, I don't know what it is. Pay attention, like bird's eye view it. Like imagine you're like a sim, okay? And you're
Mm-hmm.
like boop 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 going through life, talking to your family, okay? But you are the one like looking in the Sims game and you're like, she looks kind of upset right
Mm-hmm.
now. Maybe she's upset because this person's doing this. What is that like? What did that person say that? What did it bring up in little Sim Chloe? Oh, Sim
Right.
Chloe feels like she's misunderstood right now because she said something and someone is blatantly disagreeing with her and continues to say things that hurt her feelings. Well, Chloe can decide that she doesn't want to talk to that person anymore. Maybe she'll feel a little bit better if she
Mm-hmm.
removes herself. Try that. Like really imagine
Yeah.
yourself
Or
like in a simulation because it helps take
yes.
your emotion out of it and you can look at it objectively.
Also, like when you're in a situation and you don't feel good or comfortable or whatever, or you feel hurt or like look at what triggered you in that situation
Yeah,
and
and
then go
understand
from
that
there.
sometimes that's not even always the other person who's at
No, it
fault.
might just be like the way
You can
something was
resolve that.
said. Yes.
Yeah,
Or
like it's the whole point is to resolve how you feel about it and learn to let
hmm
things go so that other people don't have that power over you.
yeah.
I think when I say like really remove yourself from toxic situations and people is if you've done that work to recognize your triggers, communicate your triggers, work through your own triggers and like you're not getting triggered anymore, but you're just not satisfied with that reflection of that happening in your life anymore, you're
hmm
kind of betraying your truth of what you want to allow into your life.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You gotta kind of keep it pushing,
Here I
essentially.
have an affirmation. My voice
Oh,
matters. My truth is valid. I am safe to be myself.
oh, I'm safe to be myself is so good.
hmm
Yeah,
And
that
then I have another quote. The world
give it
needs
to
the
me.
real you, not a version edited for approval. And that is that.
I was literally I pulled out my cards because I wanted to see if there was a good like affirmation card somewhere. Oh, let's do my spirit junkie one real fast because I feel like these are always really good. I always have my cards like in my desk, you guys. So sometimes I'll just be pulling out my whole desk. All right, spirit. What's the T? What's the affirmation? Oh, okay. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. Because sometimes, like I said, it's not always the other person who's the quote unquote problem. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe.
I just said that.
T. Let's get the last one because I'm sure there's one more. We like things in threes. Eh, that one's good, but that's not the one. I cherish every cell in my body was the one that came out, which is definitely nice. I communicate with ease and grace. People are willing to embrace what I have to say. This is why it is good to own your truth. Because the other thing is that sometimes we think that someone will disrespect our boundary, but you don't give them a chance to honor it
Yeah.
if
hmm
you're already assuming the worst out of them. So I think those are some good affirmations. This was a very good topic. I feel like I learned to maybe pay more attention and affirm myself today. But today is a good day to release all the negative thoughts and feelings, the energy of the season to purge and release the things that are no longer serving you.
Spring
All the
cleaning, guys. Spring cleaning.
I already know good old Banks is going to comment something on here that's like, it's not the time for spring cleaning. It's so funny. Anyway,
I'll
um,
do it when I want to.
I mean, clean when you
I'm
feel the
kidding.
need to clean. I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
no judgment here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to betray your boundary,
that
bitch.
that very much gave. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, let's
Grandpa,
do
literally what
that.
I
Keep digging.
literally said that in therapy the other day, dead ass.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
she's like, how's your heart feeling? I'm like, to be honest, it's like I'm thinking of, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Like, that's how my heart is feeling.
I love that. But
But thank
yes,
you all so much for watching.
thank you.
We will see you next time. Don't forget that we link everything in our bio. Don't forget to, or the description box, I guess, down below. Our link tree is in our bio. It's also down below. I do readings. You can book on there. Follow us on, Spotify, and you can
Yes.
follow our Substack if you ever want to listen, but like you don't want to see our face. Those are great places to just listen to our episode. But we thank you all so much, and we hope you have a lovely rest of
Oh,
your week.
also,
Yeah, tell them because I was about to say it.
Yes. Also, we are now going to be posting bi-weekly versus weekly. So it'll be at
Yeah.
least 2 Saturdays in the month out of each month practically. But
Yeah, we're hoping to spam you guys a little bit less. Victoria and I also have other projects we're doing, but
yes.
we still want to give the time that Cosmic deserves and shift our attention more to social media because we think that people will really enjoy the shorter clips too, to get a little tasty taste of what we're like. And so that way we
Yes.
get to engage with you guys more often and have more time to do that. So that's really
Yes.
the goal of bi-weekly. So with that being said, we'll see you guys in a bit.
See you next time. Bye.